So welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, I've got Luke from SimBox and Troy Williamson. How you doing, lads?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, I'm good, Joel. How are you, boys?
Yeah, all good, mate.
All the better for being joined by the British champion, of course.
He loves it. He loves it. He's it's not even because he's hot. He's just putting the goods on show. Look at him.
It's fucking red hot, man. It's still 29 degrees in Dalton here. He gets some aircon fitted in his house somewhere.
You're looking good, mate. You're looking good. I ain't going to go into it, though. I'm going to hit an intro and then we'll crack on with this. Have some of this.
Are you ready?
So, big fight announcement. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr., 34 fights, 32 wins, 23 knockouts. Conor Benn, 21 fights, 21 wins, 14 knockouts. 8th of October, 2022. Hopefully the date will stick at the O2 Arena. Thought to be at, you never know, because details do change, £157. It's an interesting one, Luke. Let's start with you, mate.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. You only have to look at social media over the past couple of days. It's been unrivaled in a fight that I can remember in a long time. I think, I put a tweet out myself saying that the only all-British fight that I can imagine generating this kind of interest would be Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua, because everybody...
Me and Josh Kelly.
Luke, you've done it already.
But we'll get to that. That's a separate conversation. But yeah, I think social media blew up, and that just shows you the magnitude of the event. And I think, old school boxing fans that maybe are not following the sport as much as what they was, they're going to get back in line with it because it's such a big fight. It's got this nostalgic view to it. I'm fully on board, Joe. I think it's a great fight. It's a great story. The catch weight makes it interesting. And yeah, roll on October 8th.
Yeah. Troy, what did you make of it when you heard it, mate?
Massive. I like the way they're calling it born rivals as well. I think it's a huge fight, and I tweeted as well. Obviously, once it got announced, the internet blew up. Everyone was talking about it, and rightly so. I think it's I genuinely think it's a 50-50 fight. Going off what I've been told with the weight, and I'm sure that I heard today that they get weighed on the day of the fight as well. I'm not 100%. I don't know if that's how true or false that is, but if that is the case, I think you got to. Conor Benn will be a big favourite if he to drag Chris Eubank down to 157, and it's on the day weigh-in. He won't be able to refuel properly, will he? So it's interesting.
Yeah. It's certainly interesting, and it's one of those fights that's really torn a lot of boxing fans and just people in general that have watched. That's Luke's card just bombing off.
What are you playing on GTA there? You got GTA on Xbox?
No, I was just living in Manchester for you, Troy. Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's tore the critics. It's really tore the critics.
Yeah. One thing I'd be interested to get Troy's point of view on with this, Troy. Obviously, you're a boxer yourself, and you've had to make weight before now. For some maybe casual boxing fans, if you like, they'd be looking at it saying Chris Eubank's only got to lose an extra £3 from that middleweight limit if it is at 157. But from a boxer's point of view, how difficult is it going to be just to lose those extra £3, which from the outside doesn't seem a lot, but I'm sure at the point of the weigh-in, it's a huge problem.
So like you say, for a genuine boxing fan that they don't really, without being disrespectful, they don't really have a clue when it comes to the weight and things like that. Like I've seen some casual boxing fans just saying, he's only, even the amateurs, he's only doing 3 2-minute rounds. It'd be easy. It's not that easy. Until you step through the ropes and compete yourself and make weight yourself, then you realise how hard it is. And to lose that extra £3, I think it will be tough, because his last couple of fights have been at super middleweight, I think, from what I believe. So yeah, to get him down to 157, he looks a big lad. I've never seen him in person, but he looks a big lad, and I think he'll kill himself to do it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, he's so dedicated, isn't he? That's the thing.
Yeah,
I
he's
think both of
dedicated.
these
So,
fighters-
like,
both of them.
it's easy for me to say that he'll kill himself. He might not kill himself. But from what I believe, I don't think he's ever made this weight. So who knows? Obviously, we'll only see when it comes, when it happens.
Well, Troy, while we're with you, mate, if they turn around and said Troy versus Josh Kelly, we're going to stick it on the undercard, how would you feel about that?
Yeah, I'd be really happy about that because me and Kelly again when I put a tweet out myself, didn't blew up for that, and rightly so because obviously that's a massive fight in British boxing, and it's even bigger that it's obviously we're both from the northeast. So if it happened in Newcastle, it'd sell out an arena with a good undercard. So yeah, I'd be to get on the undercard of the Eubank Ben would be huge.
Yeah. That's not to say you couldn't headline yourself, because I think, as you say, that fight is huge, and that really does. You know, to some people that don't really know their boxing, you've shot out of nowhere. Josh Kelly's been given this profile out of, isn't he? He's been pushed as this pretty boy.
Yeah,
but the the proof's there, isn't it? You've done the job. People have now got your, the respect, and we can't. I'd love to see that fight. I really would. That's another show, because I'll tell you that's an absolute corker. So Troy, who are you going with? What's your prediction? Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. No fence sitting, mate.
No, I won't fence it. Obviously, I've said Eubank because he is genuinely the bigger man. To be honest, I think they're both very, very similar. Both very aggressive. Both very, very fit, and both very, very fit. But I think a good bigger man always beats a good little man. But if you got to drag him down to 157 and it's on the day weigh-in, the same day as the fight, I'll back Ben. So, yeah, I'm pretty much sitting on the fence there. I'd go with Chris Eubanks. I think he's going to be too big.
Stoppage?
No, I think the points.
Okay, cool. Luke, where are you sitting?
I'm going to sit now. I was going to say I'm going to sit right on the fence, but we can't do that here. I think at the minute, there's a lot of intangibles, and I think at tomorrow's press conference, if we get a few more bits of information, if it is same day weigh-in, and if there's penalties for missing the weight and things like that, I think we might be able to do a bit more of a rounded prediction after that. But as it stands at the minute, I think it's who controls their emotions better. And I think that side, Chris Eubank, because there's going to be a lot of family pride on there. There's a lot at stake with that side of things. And I could see this being Eubank being the matador to Ben being the bull, especially if he adopts that Roy Jones kind of style that he's been trying out in his past few fights, which hasn't really worked out. But Ben might be the ideal opponent for that, the ideal come-forward opponent where he could try and outbox him. But again, the weight issue, if he's going to be drained, if it's same-day weigh-in. Of the two, I prefer Conor Benn. But as Troy said, I think a good big un beats a little un. But I can't sit on the fence. I keep trying to and ah. I'm going to go Conor Benn on points. I think he's going to outwork him, and he's come forward, attacking pressure. If he closes the ring down right, we'll be favoured by the judges, and I think it'll be razor tight.
I hope Conor does do it. I hope Conor does win.
Yeah. I think it's one of those, and it's such a difficult one to call. But, because it's almost like speed versus power, isn't it? But you've also got with Conor, as you say, he's built up with emotion, isn't he? He's an emotional fighter, and he can get caught, can't he? If there's a fight to be had, he's going to have a fight. Where Eubank can sit back. He can, we're going to see how much he's learned, really, aren't we? I think can he turn off the cockiness as well? But I have to say, I've got to go. My heart says Conor Benn. It just does, and I think he could chin Eubank. Has he really been tested up to this point with someone that's got that power?
Who's that, Eubank?
Yeah,
he's been in with George Groves. George Groves is a massive puncher.
Yeah,
but I think George was technically broke him down, didn't he? Don't you think in that?
Yeah, but he took a lot of punishment from Groves, didn't he? And he didn't go down. I think one thing that Eubank's got is that chin. And I think that's going to be interesting because they're both going to have iron wills in this fight. I'm sure you could try and put yourself in the position of either Ben or Eubank. And imagine you're fighting your dad's biggest rival's son. You know, that you're going to go in there with the utmost confidence anyway, you know, and you're going to have that kind of determination, that grit. But imagine having that family pride element to it. You know, that's something that's almost unheard of at this kind of level.
Yeah, and I think that's where they both get pushed into a different level, don't they? Because it's all on the line.
Yeah.
You know, your name. But yeah, I think, lads, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. And thanks for pulling me up with George Groves there, Troy. That was really nice.
Hey, I've got a quick one for you. Shields Marshall.
Oh, mate. Do you know what? I have to go Savannah Marshall. I think technically she's just got the Fury-esque boxing style. And for me, I think she can stop Clarissa Shields. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I do myself. I think. I think she's fucking. She punches like a bloke. She punches harder than most blokes. So
she's just got the works, isn't she? She's got the full works. Yeah, she can box. She can stand there. I don't think Shields is really. She's been hyped by a team as this GOAT, and we're going to find out who the greatest woman is, aren't we, on that night?
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Savannah Marshall.
It's a good fight. I think with it being 2-minute rounds in female boxing, I think that Savannah might drop the first couple of rounds, first 2 or 3 rounds. And I think once Savannah gets the measure of Clarissa, I think that's when she'll put her foot down. And we've seen she's got that killer instinct. I've never seen a female boxer that can willingly take out people on a consistent basis the way Savannah does. And I think she might drop those first few rounds because it's 2-minute rounds, and Clarissa might get on the bike and box on the back foot. But I think once Savannah gets to her, I think it's game over, and she's gonna knock her out.
Well, before Troy takes over the entire show, we'll call it a day. He's already taken it over by not having a t-shirt on, and he was flashing his biceps before we came on. Do you know what I mean?
The gun show.
Come on, Luke, it's your turn.
I'm good, mate. I've been out before I got on camera.
But to appreciate the warm weather while we've got it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Because we'll only grumble when it rains.
Yeah, I think it's meant to rain next week. I think it's nice till Sunday, Monday, and then rain Tuesday.
Yeah, make the most of it, boys.
Well, there we have it. We've had Troy's prediction for Eubank, Ben. We've had his prediction for Marshall versus Shields, and now he's a weatherman. So on that note, honestly, Troy, thanks for coming on, mate. You're a top bloke, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Top as always, mate. Top as always. But thanks for tuning in, people. Let us know in the comments below where you sit. Are you on the fence? Are you torn between both fighters? Let us know in the comments how you see it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you very much, lads. Take care, people.
Cheers, later.
Are you